Dear Dhamma friends, we have come to the final question and answer session of this February Kalalgoda retreat. So we have received several questions. We will start with the written questions.
With respect, Most Venerable Bhante, primary object, walking meditation. When doing the above, is it advantageous to look at the sensations as the four elements, specifically as Patavi, Vayo, Tejo, which are more prominent? Can we also look at the sensations as Sukha, Dukkha, Adukkhama Sukha? Would value your opinion. May you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana in this very life.
Actually, if the understanding comes naturally, that's fine. It's not necessary for us to internally map, okay, what I have currently went through certain sensation. Is it Patavi or is it Tejo? So likewise, if you are trying to sort of recall based on your book knowledge, then it is not necessary. Say, for example, your foot is touching the ground. Suppose you are feeling stiffness, feeling hardness. And immediately, obviously, if the kind of a maybe understanding come into the mind, okay, this is the earth element, welcome, no problem. But it is not a must. I mean, this mapping the name of the element is kind of a knowledge. It is not essential for vipassana. So actually this book knowledge help us to write the report and later to analyze our understanding or to map our understanding according to the Buddha's teaching. It has a meaning. But while meditation, we should not give too much priority to the rational side, too much priority to the sort of book knowledge, then that natural development of the meditation hinders. Because during the meditation, mind has to be fairly in a relaxed mood, and that relaxed, concentrated mind is able to perceive various things very carefully. So without any inner chatter, without any talking, without too much analysis. And actually the careful observation is there, but it does not mean that you are thinking. Now, we can think various things. We can map various book knowledge to this experience. This mapping is not a must. And we simply have to, as carefully as possible, we are acknowledging the experience. There are various very subtle sensations are happening. So we are receiving them with a very careful attention, with a very quiet mind. So that has to be given more prominence. So there's another question to that. Second part, what it was? Sukha Dukkha Upekkha, actually that is the way that you are sort of interpreting. I mean, same experience, either you can look at in the element point of view, or either you can look at it in a feeling point of view. Either in the Kaya Anupassana or in the Vedana Anupassana. Same experience. Say, for example, now I am holding this glass. So now I feel actually warmth. Little heat is there. So I can either consider the heat element. Okay, I am feeling some hot, feeling some heat. So that is one way of looking at it. On the other hand, now holding this, I am feeling some heaviness. That's also element characteristics. So these are actually the way of perceiving in the first aggregate, that is the Rupa Khandha. But on the other hand, holding this either may be kind of an equanimous feeling. Holding this may be little even, if we are holding this for a long time, then my hand may start to ache. So then it could be a painful feeling. Likewise, I can interpret the same experience from the Vedana point of view. So it doesn't matter. Actually, this Kayanupassana and Vedananupassana are very closely related. So either you look at in the Rupakkhanda point of view, that is the elements, or the Vedanakkhandha point of view, those are different feelings, doesn't matter. Whichever is preferred is all right. Yeah.
Garuttara Swamin Wahansa, please explain with kindness the Samatha and Vipassana Bhavana meditation, as it is still confusing what these two practices are. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, yesterday or day before yesterday also we had the same very much this question. Actually, you can simply understand like from the samatha meditation, we are trying to calm down the mind. Assume that typically our minds are extremely scattered, extremely going to various objects. There is no sort of collectedness. There is no concentration. Everywhere, mind is going to past, going to the future, jumping to this and that. So it's the kind of a scattered mind. So with such a mind, and inner chatter is also going on. So with such a mind, we can't do anything. So first of all, we need to collect the mind. We need to take it as much as possible to some one-pointedness. Fair amount of concentration has to happen. So there are various techniques available for that. So one approach is the samatha approach, where you are giving one, say, sort of wholesome object. So our duty is to apply our mind again and again to this wholesome object. Assume that you are giving the Buddha's quality, Buddho, 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 Arahang, 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 something like that. So first of all, it depends on the technique. Actually, for example, if you are to do Buddhanussati, you should know what are these terms are representing. Simply parroting is not useful at all. What is Buddha means, what is Arahang means. So likewise, when you are recalling this term Arahang, so internally we should know what is the Arahang representing, what are the qualities of the Buddha, why we are putting this special term called Arahang to Buddha. Why are we using the Buddha as the term, Buddho as the term to represent Buddha? What are the qualities representing this each and every 9 qualities? So likewise, we should know certain information, and then when we are recalling that Arahang, Arahang, likewise, then it combines with the quality of the Buddha, and it is very easy for you to then collect the mind. So we are discarding all the other objects, and we are again and again trying to collect our mind to this particular quality. So on the other hand, last time I have taken a kasina. Kasina is some sort of say 10 kasinas are there. So say for example, you are given a color kasina. It's like say likewise, assume this kind of a circular object, and simply you can look at it. Either you can look at it, or you can even do it using the body parts. That's also possible. Anyway, assume that you are given this kind of an object, so you are looking at it. Again and again you are looking at it. Again and again you are looking at it. So even when you close your eyes, now you can internally see it. That's a kind of a perception, kind of a sign of the object what you have seen is available in your mind. Now again and again you are applying your mind to that object, that color. Suppose it is the yellow color, so you are putting to this yellow kasina again and again in the mind. So assume that mind goes to the past. Now again you bring back and putting it to the yellow kasina. Assume it is going to the future. Again you bring it back and put into the yellow kasina. So likewise you are sort of conditioning the mind to stay with this same object. So there is nothing else, simply this color. So ultimately you are able to hold your mind, you are able to firm with this color for fair amount of time. So there's a possibility like continuously, say about half an hour, 45 minutes, you are simply observing this particular object, well concentrated to that. There are no any other distractions, so you are well absorbed to this particular object. So this is possible. So likewise, there are various simple techniques are available, and in the samatha approach, we have to consider these are very permanent. These are very beautiful. These are very good. So likewise, we are going with the concepts, and therefore these are the ways to develop concentration. So these are samatha approaches. Say if you are developing anapanasati, say you are simply keeping your attention at the breath. So later, as the concentration develops, so as a kind of a nimitta can happen, kind of a sign can happen. So later, discarding the anapana, this inhale and exhale, you can simply keep attention to this new nimitta, new sign. So ultimately you get absorbed to that sign. So such techniques are available. So, but on the other hand, vipassana, on the other hand, we are working with the realities. So not concepts, but into the realities. Say for example, when you are walking, you feel various things. Say you are foot is touching the ground, now you feel the hardness, you feel the stiffness, you feel the warmth, you may feel the heat, you may feel whether it is cold. Or assume that even in the breath, you are looking in a different point of view. Rather than simply concentrating, you can even feel the breath, whether it is cooler, whether it is warmer, whether it is, say, kind of moving or touching. So likewise, we are going to the sort of element characteristics or the real characteristics. So these are not something that mind created. Say, for example, when I was explaining this kasina, so once I am able to take a picture of that, so kasina is not necessary. So now the picture is internally available in the mind. So it's in a way mind created. But in the vipassana, we are not giving any prominence to mind created things. Rather, it has to be available at this very moment. So therefore, the proper vipassana happens always in the present moment. So in the present moment, so there are various things are manifesting, various things are arising due to various causes. Either yogi has to observe these arising phenomena, or you can go a little bit to the source and see what are the causes to produce these phenomena. Say, for example, you are observing pain, various feelings. Either you can observe what are these feelings, how they are behaving, and then you can even go a little bit to the source. What is the cause of the feeling? So then probably you might be able to understand there may be a sort of contact. Contact is condition in the feeling, or contact causes the feeling. So likewise, you can go to the root of certain phenomena, root of certain incidents, and so these are happening right now. So there is no single object. Various feelings may be there. At one time you may be observing painful feeling at one place. At another time you may be observing maybe pleasurable feeling at another place. So the object constantly changing and you are continuously observing. So likewise, it is more into the mindfulness, more into the wisdom side, where we are trying to, through observation, continuous observation, we are trying to develop some understanding based on what is really happening to these various phenomena. Phenomena actually could be either physical phenomena or even the mental phenomena. So there are like such differences in samatha and vipassana. So vipassana therefore has a broader view, where it is, even though we are beginning with recognizing these different characteristics, different elements, different feelings, ultimately slowly we are going to different stages of understanding. So therefore we can say the vipassana practice is much more broader. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante.
So may I know who has written the question? If you still feel you need some information, feel free to ask. Otherwise we can continue.
Venerable Bhante. After a wholesome deed, we share merits with celestial beings, reciting Akasattacha Bummata, ending with Mam Paranti. Reverend Bhante, please explain the meaning of Mam Parang. Theruvan Saranai.
Mang typically in the Pali means to me, para typically means for the others. So that is one way. On the other hand, para, sometimes parang typically means the life. So akasattaja bummata deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditta chirang rakkantu mam parang. So the parang that in that sense it can be myself. Let help these merits to protect myself. So may all the celestial beings accept, receive, enjoy these merits. Akasattaja bummata, either they may be living in the sky, in the what you call the antarika space, or either they may associate in the earth. They are called bummatu deva. So who are associated in the earth itself. Akasattaja bummata deva naga mahiddika. Whoever, they may be celestial, they may be nagas, whoever with some spiritual powers, Devanaga Mahiddika, Punyantang Anumoditva, may they share the merits which I have done. Punyantang Anumoditva, Chirang Rakkantu Mamparang. And they may long protect me. Mamparang. So my life may be protected by them. by receiving this merit. So little, little bribe. So actually, it's a kind of a request King Sakka has made to the Buddha, that when whatever the good activity, wholesome activity is done by the, say, followers of the Buddha, so he has requested to share the merits with the gods, with all the beings, so that there may be situations that they are not in a position to do the merit by themselves. But still by rejoicing someone else's wholesome activity, they can be happy. That is a way of accumulating merit. It is not that we always have to do ourselves, but if we have a kind of mudita, we are able to generate some kind of happiness by observing how others are doing it well. They are wholeheartedly doing it. They are, very lovingly doing it. They are putting their best to the activity. So likewise, you can rejoice on some good activity someone else is doing. Then merit is accumulated even to you. Even though you are not physically involved there, even mentally you can appreciate what someone else is doing. So like manner, you can accumulate merit. So that is the pattanumodana, where you are rejoicing someone else's good deed. Yeah.
Bhante, this is a bit long, so when you want me to stop, tell me. Most Venerable Swamin Wahansa, allow me to make a few comments regarding merits from Dana and Katina Puja. One,
Sorry.
Allow me to make a few comments regarding merits from Dana and Katina Puja.
Right.
Number one, Lord Buddha has disclosed that the merit of an act is determined by several factors. Number one, the object being offered, how the object was acquired by the donor, the recipient.
No, actually 3 factors defined as, one thing is the the qualities of the donor, rather the mentality of the donor and the qualities of the receiver, and the object, how the object is obtained. So three factors are there, that the donation party and the doning party and the receiving party as well as the object. Yeah.
Okay. From other disclosures, we can expand these factors further. Usefulness of the object to the recipient. If recipient has already had some food, then the food being offered has limited usefulness. Number 3, how valuable the object is to the donor. Example, a billionaire gives 100 to a beggar. A very poor person gives his lunch to a beggar. This is similar to Saddha.
This similar to Saddha. Saddha may not be the ones. How much you can give up. Wholeheartedly you are giving up. So 100 rupees by a billionaire, nothing. But his own lunch packet by a very poor person to another beggar kind of thing, it's giving up a lot. Yeah.
Number 3, extent of Saddha in mind of donor. Example, a donor does not know that the recipient bhikkhu is an arahant. Donor know he is offering to an arahant. A and B. Okay. Then C, offer flowers at Ruangveli Saya alone and say sadhu. The other one, offer flowers at Ruangveli Saya with 600,000 other devotees and say sadhu sadhu together with them. Much more saddha. The Katina Anisansa is similar to these illustrations, I think. Much merit to you, Bhante, for your observations on these comments and illustrations. May you develop Abhinya further and Maggapala further in this very life.
No, actually we can't say that doing a little thing and doing a big thing, of course, has differences. You need a lot of effort to do it. Now say, for example, you are offering one flower to the Buddha, and that is one way of doing it. And you are collecting a lot of flowers, say 1,000 flowers, and offering to the Buddha. So it depends on how you are doing it. Say, assume that when you are accumulating when you are plucking one flower, so you have some amount of wholesome mind, you are mindfully doing it and offering it to the Buddha, wholeheartedly, so fair amount of merit is accumulated. But on the other hand, assume that you are able to maintain such a beautiful mind throughout all the 100, all the 1000, then you are of course accumulating lot of merits. Say you are picking one flower, you are picking another one flower. Likewise, flower by flower you are accumulating, so you are maintaining kind of a, it depends on the mindset. So you have to, as you are carry on the whole process, if you are able to generate lot of meritorious karma, you are able to maintain wholesome mind, then more and more you do, more and more merits are available. But on the other hand, if you are trying to sort of defeat another person, say someone else is offering 500 flowers, now you are offering 1000 flowers just to defeat another person. So then you are in a different mindset. So not at all useful, but rather the conceit is the one coming forward. Not the real saddha, not the real faith coming forward, rather some competition. Sort of conceit is there. So therefore, so how skillful are we maintaining our mind when we are doing these meritorious activities are most important. So if you are wholeheartedly, very honestly, very innocently, if you are doing something, so it generates a lot of karma. So that's why even that you can recollect that Velama Sutta, which I have referred yesterday or day before yesterday. Yeah, Buddha is telling, I mean, more than giving to the Buddha and the whole Sangha, if one is wholeheartedly, sort of honestly, if he is going for refuge for Buddha, Buddha is telling more meritorious. So there is, I mean, he is not spending any money, he is not holding with many others, rather he is wholeheartedly telling Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. May I go for refuge on Buddha? May I go for refuge on Dhamma? May I go for refuge on Sangha? Similarly, the precepts. So you understand what are the benefits of going abstaining from killing. So you take it as a vow. Okay, I will abstain from killing animals. I will abstain from stealing. I will abstain from sexual misconduct. I will abstain from falsehood. I will abstain from taking intoxications. So these are sort of activities, certain activities where the say money and all these other things are not involved. Rather, kind of a commitment is coming wholeheartedly from your mind, and Buddha is keeping that to a very high level. It is not that you are going with so many people and with lot of perahara and all these things doing it, but rather you may be at your home and you may be in front of a Buddha statue, and maybe you can offer a flower, doesn't matter, but you are very honest, you are doing it wholeheartedly. So that kind of honesty, that kind of truthfulness coming back to yourself, so those are the real qualities that is empowering the wholesome power. So just to tell some more, as this report tells, I mean, it also depends on the receiver side. So if the receiver has a lot of good qualities, so that also contributing to the merit. Say if someone is offering to an arahant, so because of the receiver is an arahant, so there is much merit accumulated to the donor. But on the other hand, if the receiving party assume he's a sotapanna, then maybe less compared to the arahant. So likewise, differences are there based on the receiver as well. So there are, I mean, it's very difficult to therefore analyze, because how are you going to really know that one person is an arahant or sotapanna or worldling, or it is very difficult. But from our side, what we can do is during the donations time, so as much as possible, we have to maintain a very beautiful mind. We have to maintain a very pure mind, very honest mind, and we are giving it up totally. So actually, it's a reduction of greed, reduction of the what you call the lobha. So that is you are doing it. You are giving it for the benefit of someone else, and you are doing it wholeheartedly. Then much merit is there. Yes, that's all, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have some more questions.
Right.
That is all. Bhante, can I ask you one more on that, since about 600,000 flowers coming up?
Right.
I've heard that there is a gatha that you can offer a flower to Lord Buddha while it is in the tree itself?
Yes. I also have heard, I have seen that verse, but I can't remember the verse. But such is available. I mean, rather than plucking the flower from the branch, from the tree, so while you have seen the flower and you are offering that flower to the Buddha while it has been there. So such things are there. Actually, it is very much the mind involvement. So how well you are maintaining very honest mind at that time. Because offering to the Buddha is not that Buddha is getting anything, no. It is how much our mind is purified at that moment. So if we are able to purify it to the very high level, then a lot of merits are there. So we may be offering dana or food or flowers or whatever it is. Now Buddha is not there to receive, but our mind accordingly, if we are able to maintain very pure mind and sort of gratitude is available in our mind. So he is the teacher, he has shown me the path. So because of him, I have now become a good human being. So likewise, if we have some honest appreciation towards the Buddha, so those are good qualities purifying ourselves. So this is how the purification happens in our side. So those are good qualities in ourselves. So that will be generated. That will be further and further improved. So that's why I say, for example, you have 100 flowers. Now while offering one flower, you are maintaining such good quality. And offering another flower, you are having such quality. So assume that offering 100 flowers took 1 hour. Then you are able to maintain such a attitude for 1 hour. But if you are doing it for 1 minute, just 1 minute. But without flowers, can't you do it? That is also possible. So it depends therefore. So that's why assume that one is developing Buddhanusati. So there are no flowers, your eyes are closed. So you are but sort of appreciating the Buddha's qualities. So there it's very much like your mind becomes closer to the Buddha's mind. It is not that through knowledge, but say for example Arahant. Why we are calling Buddha as Arahant? One aspect is he is worthy of respect. He is worthy of all the donations, all the whatever it is. And he has never breach or break any precepts, even either in public or in private. So likewise, so these some sublime qualities are kind of indicated in the term Arahant. So now I am sort of appreciating that quality. So when the term Arahant is recalled in the background, now I am appreciating that good quality of the Buddha. So now the mind becomes fairly closer to that quality. So whatever the object associated by the mind, so mind get the color of that object. So we are doing that. So we are again and again appreciating certain quality. So we are again and again applying our mind to that. So our mind itself becomes that. So therefore very beautiful for a very long time. So I am just appreciating that quality of Arahant. So a lot of merits are there. No flowers.
For bees and insects also.
Sorry?
Better for bees and insects also.
Better for?
For bees and insects.
Yes.
Because if you pluck all the flowers, where are the food for them?
So you have to keep some flowers at least for bees. Yes. True.
Okay. Theruvan Saranai, Most Venerable Bhante. Last evening, I settled into a seated meditation posture after a 20 minutes of a mindful walking practice. Breathing became subtle within a few minutes, and I started watching the state of mind. I then experienced a slightly gloomy state of mind, and what I then observed was something like a vertical display board with the side view of a few neutral human characters. And I was non-judgmental and signaled letting go. It moved away towards the left, and what then appeared was a few dishes of food, not clearly defined, on a floor On a flat surface, with the non-judgmental approach, let it go signal that it too disappeared. Then the state of mind was less gloomy and mind became more alert and slightly pleasant. It was over in 8 minutes. My question, how can Bhante explain this experience during concentration? What more advice Bhante could please provide?
Yeah. So, I mean, these are different perceptions coming as our mind settling, as our mind calms down. There's a possibility of various sanya, various signs to appear. That's a natural effect of meditation. So, at that time, what you have done is the correct approach. We are not getting sort of deluded by that. We are not personifying it. We are not adding value to it. Rather, we simply observe them. And we recognize them as sanya, as simple signs. Different signs are there. It is not important. It is not suppressing. We are not giving any new value to it. Or we are trying to suppress it. Rather, we understand. Okay, these are simply sanya. These are simply signs. And so, since we are not get entangled to it, then it will disappear. It will go away. So once it has gone away, so mind become more clear. So Buddha has mentioned very beautifully, sanya virattassa nasanti gantha. So when someone is not being deluded by various sanya, various signs, so there are no entanglements. There are no entanglements with respect to defilements for him. Because he is a very wise person. Because this sanya is the one trying to tempt us, trying to delude us. If we are giving value to it, if you think that these are important, then they start to absorb some energy, get some energy from yourself, and they become like a devil. Then you've been caught. You may be afraid of it. You may go to see the kattadi or whatever. So because you are the one has empowered this little sanya and made it a devil. But they are simply signs in the mind, and you recognize it and simply let it go and it will disappear. And your mind is more clear, more transparent, and you are in a more healthy situation, more stable situation. So your approach is very correct. So that's why Buddha is mentioning sanya is like a mirage. So don't get deluded by that. They are simply representations, but there is no essence. There is no core there. They are simply empty. Yes, if you want to add, you can come.
Most Venerable Bhante, now I want to clarify whether it is really part of concentration or...
No, actually it happen. Yeah, what are you trying to tell? Okay, I understand your question. I mean, is it happen because of the concentration?
Yes.
Now the concentration signs are different.
Okay.
So concentration signs typically doesn't have any kind of typical man, woman, say flowers, say food and all these things. Okay. They are not the concentration signs.
Right.
Concentration signs are mostly they are lights.
Okay.
Kind of a light is happening. It may be different colored.
Right.
So, but again, more and more concentration improves, it becomes more transparent, more white. Towards white, it may be improving.
Okay.
But at the beginning, it can be different color. It may be pink color, it may be red color, green color. Different colors may be available. But as the concentration grows, it can be more into the white or more into the transparent.
Okay.
So, but it does not represent any being or any flower or any of these, the natural or typical, typical signs we are telling. When our eyes are closed, we can create typical signs.
Yes.
So these are not that.
Right.
So, but on the other hand, as the mind becomes calm, so these other signs can appear. That is what has happened.
Right.
Signs in the sense, now there are a lot of already stored signs in our mind.
Yes.
That may be our past memories, what we have seen in the past, what we have imagined. All of them are kind of bank of signs are available in the mind. Okay. They are not related to the concentration, but they start to come out when the mind has some calmness.
Right.
When the mind is calm, now these signs are popping up.
Right.
But if we give prominence to that sign, then we lose our calmness and we get trapped in that.
Okay.
So, putting it in other terms, especially when you are doing, say, vipassana practice, slowly, our consciousness, vijnana, becomes more and more subtler,
Right.
more and more weaker in one sense.
Yes.
So, at that time, vijnana cannot establish well. So, what is the next option is to use some internal object.
Right.
Assume that you are observing breath. Now, breath becomes subtler and subtler. Now the consciousness cannot establish there very well. It is very vague like now. So what is next happen is when this breath becomes very subtle, so internally we have various these signs available. So sign is coming up. So vijnana is kind of playing to take one sign up because this breath has almost disappeared.
Okay.
Now what happens to the yogi is now he immediately looks at this. He forgets about the breath. Breath is almost disappeared.
Yeah.
But this sign is very beautiful.
Right.
It may be you have seen beautiful, say in your case, beautiful food, very delicious food. Okay, oh my goodness, I am really hungry. So now you are making a big story out of it. Now vijnana again got established there.
Right.
So therefore, in the process we need to recognize, okay, now the mind is fairly calm, consciousness is very weak, vijnana is very weak. Therefore, there's a possibility of this internally available signs might pop up. At that time, I should not get deluded by them. Rather, I need to recognize it and let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bhante, I have another question that I experienced during meditation, seated meditation yesterday.
Yeah.
Really, I was doing seated meditation in the morning. Then, in fact, I had an uncle who passed away 15 years ago. He was so useful, helpful to our family.
So that's another sign.
No, I didn't see this.
Right.
But when I was meditating,
Yeah.
now I haven't thought about him for about, I think, 1 month or so. But all of a sudden I felt something and I just saw that he in a very beautiful face, and I just turned my head to see what it is, and it is. So is it a
Was he there behind you?
No. No, it is like a sort of what do you call the
Perception.
perception.
Yeah.
Right. So it has nothing to do with meditation, no? Because maybe subconscious mind I had
That's the thing.
some.
So typically, so that's why I said, so we have already accumulated a lot of signs.
Okay.
So we have already a lot of habitual tendencies are there, all the past memories are there.
Mm-hmm.
So all are already in a big bank.
Right.
So when the mind settles, there's a high possibility of these are coming to the upper layer of the consciousness.
Right.
They are actually in the subconscious level.
Okay.
But as our meditation improves, as the mind calms down, so the gap between consciousness level and the subconscious level becomes very less.
Right.
So we are almost reaching the subconscious level.
Mm-hmm.
So then the data available in the subconscious level come to the surface.
Right. Okay.
So now if we are giving more value to it and if we are embracing it, then we again get trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually these needs to come out as well. So you don't need to suppress them.
Okay.
So when they are coming up, we need to recognize them totally, properly. Okay, these are signs. Giving the proper term. We don't need to give any value to it, or we should not either suppress it, rather we recognize it. Okay, this is a sign. It is not someone. It is not somebody. It is a sign.
Okay.
Sign is seen as a sign. Then we are not empowering it. Then it will disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Yeah.
Venerable Swamin Vahansa, this is not a question but a suggestion. Since we have all obtained a lot of merit after 2.5 days of meditation, can the merit be passed on to those who have died or suffering from coronavirus with metta?
Sure. Can. That's all, no? But Sri Lanka only less, right? Only 2 cases, I think. 2 cases, and they all recovered. They also recovered. So a little fortunate in that sense. But I heard that more than 1,500 now passed away. In China, I think, mostly, no? More than that? More than 1,500. I see. So now those are the written questions we have received. So if you have any other question, we can spend some more time.
Venerable Bhante, sometimes, not yesterday or today, I
Yeah.
mean sometimes when I do my meditation, I feel like a void, no, nothing, I can't see anything.
Right.
But it always moves away from me, away and away from me.
Right.
So sometimes I am puzzled, like why, what is this?
Okay. So can you explain a little bit before that what you were doing?
Anapanasati concentration.
Okay. So at that time, is Anapanasati really calm down?
Yes, very, very, I'm so calm down and feel very peaceful. But I'm always thinking why this, I can't see anything, but it's like nothing.
Kind of void is there, but
Void,
you are
but
being
it's-
absorbed to that? You are being
It's
pulled to
moving,
that?
It's moving away from me.
Moving away from
Away,
you,
away,
and
like,
again, is it that you are also being pulled to that?
No,
No.
I'm there.
You are simply calm there, but
Yeah.
there is something going away and away.
Away and away.
Yeah, I mean,
This most of the times, and it's like for maybe it's a second or 1 second or like very quick thing,
right.
but it happens very often. I mean,
Yeah. How about your walking meditation?
I feel very relaxed and I can understand every step now. I
Right.
always feel everything now.
Right. So, I mean, are there any distractions during the walking, or you can really mindfully do it?
Mindfully, but once in a while
Yeah.
thoughts come, but I know that I
Right.
can't say this thought is there, but just
They are coming and
disturb
going. Not much disturbance.
No.
So while sitting, so at the beginning you can observe breath and slowly assume that it is calming down. It is become very subtler,
Subtler.
and then this experience going to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry. So basically, I mean, point is sometimes breath itself can manifest like you are observing like very far, like you are in a very far place, and the breath being at the nostril, so you are at a very far observing it. It can also happen. It's a change of perception, but with time those things will change.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if in the long run, probably you can even the Anapanasati nimitta, that what we have discussed previously, it also can, even though we tell sometimes it is bright, sometimes for some people it can be not that bright. So that's why I want to check whether are you being pulled to that.
No.
So
No,
because if such nimitta is there, even though it is little gloomy, if it is powerful, you being pulled to that. It doesn't matter. So it is there, simply you are watching it, you being absorbed to that, you being pulled to that. Doesn't matter, you can simply be with it.
Yeah.
But on your case, it seems like kind of a perception that there is a kind of experience is there, kind of a sensation is there, but you are experiencing it from far away. It may change.
Okay.
Yeah. That
That one, sir.
one, sir.